that high in the hills over the Pacific Palisades, there was a group of Nazis hiding in a secret compound, waiting for the day that Hitler marched into the U.S. and started doing the things he'd been doing in Europe. LA, by that time, was no stranger to Nazi sympathizers. In the summer of 1933, when Hitler had just become chancellor, a bunch of American fascists held a joyful event at a downtown beer garden called the Brown House. This was the same name as the Nazi party offices in Munich. They had no idea that a spy named L1 had sent someone to watch over the events. Later, the Nazis would find out about L1 and call him the most dangerous Jew in Los Angeles. Now, you may wonder why the Nazis thought about LA at all, but the US, being as powerful as it was back then, was always under the Nazi radar. The Nazis also understood the power of film, and the Hollywood, of course, was the movie-making mecca of the world. Film was and still is entertainment, but it's also a great tool of propaganda. You'd be surprised how many
as I tell you a story, I'm sorry if it seems a bit boring, but these are stories of fathers whose lives are being destroyed way too early. It all started when I opened my mouth, complain about a stupid mistake. I knew better than to have more to say. I did it anyway. I'm a father and a husband. I'm no longer trusted. They have taken away the things I hold dear, making me realize my biggest fear. The foundation, it has crumbled. Now there is tears where there is muscles. So now I waste away, missing my daughter as she plays. I am guilty of nothing. When I was a dad, I was something. These people passing judgment have no right to say I'm a bad father, get away. This place no longer for you to stay. I don't wanna see you here, never again will I hear. Hey daddy, come play with me. I need you to make some tea. I shed a tear looking at her smile I won't see for a while. Now as days pass by, the tears have dried from my eyes. All that's left is the memories of that beautiful smile. So thank you for passing judgment. You people don't know nothing. To that little girl I was something, and you took it all away. So thank you for passing judgment. You people don't know nothing. To that little girl I was something, and you took it all away. Now my baby is grown up. Those people messed things up. I lost life's miracles there behind, with just a picture to remind me. Guilty of nothing. When I was a dad, I was something. These people passing judgment and have no right to say I'm a bad father, get away. This place no longer for you to stay. I don't want to see you here, never again will I hear. Hey daddy, come play with me. I need you to make some tea. I shed a tear looking at her smile I won't see for a while. Now as days pass by, the tears have dried from my eyes. All that's left is the memories of that beautiful smile. So thank you for passing judgment. You people don't know nothing. To that little girl I was something, and you took it all away. So thank you for passing judgment. You people don't know nothing. To that little girl I was something, and you took it all away. Now my baby is grown up. Those people messed things up. I lost life's miracles there behind, but just a picture to remind me. Oh, now my baby is grown up. Those people messed things up. I lost life's miracles there. where silence screams. The truth lies buried beneath the seams. CPS is out, hunting on the prowl. With the badge of justice, we'll take the vow. They come with badges, dressed in deceit, taking children, claiming it's all for the streets. We rise up, we won't be ignored. The CPS Punisher leads us toward the score. They come with badges, dressed in deceit, taking children, claiming it's all for the streets. But we rise up, we won't be ignored. The CPS Punisher leads us toward the score. Together we stand, for the truth we'll fight. CPS, hear a battle cry. No more corruption, we'll reach for the sky. A family torn, but we're ready to stand. For our children's rights, we'll take back our land. On the mic, with hearts on our sleeve. Herbert's got the law to help us believe. Expose the lies, peel back the mask. No more injustice, it's truth we'll unmask. Stand together, this mission's ours alone. CPS, hear our battle cry. No more corruption, we'll reach for the sky. A family torn, but we're ready to stand. For our children's rights, we'll take back our land. Stand together, this mission's ours alone. CPS, hear our battle cry. No more corruption, we'll reach for the sky. A family torn, but we're ready to stand. For our children's rights, we'll take back our land. CPS, hear our battle cry. No more corruption, we'll reach for the sky. A family torn, but we're ready to stand. For our children's rights, we'll take back our land.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
All right, here I am in the little screen again. Let's pop me up here. Big picture. There we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to CPS Victims Hunting Justice. It's Thursday night. Thursday night, right? Yeah. I'm your host, CPS Punisher. I'm not sure if I got the night right. It is Thursday, right? Babe, it's Thursday, right? Wednesday night. Sorry about that. Wednesday night. Idiot. So as usual, like, share, do all that good stuff that we have. We got the chat where we love to hear you guys' input. That's right here. We'll put that up right here for you guys. Boom. Right there is the chat. I'm in there a little bit. That little thing is where we put up our comments. So please do so. Right, hello, whatever you want. Whatever, if you guys got some questions to ask, please do that. Whatever type things you want to get going in there, put them in there. Yesterday, that was an interesting show. I guess I know my beard. My goodness, sorry about that. Look like a mess. Yesterday was quite interesting show with Chris. I know we went a little bit longer than normal. Here's Herbert here. We get Herbert out here. Talk about that. Herbert, how we doing? You're here somewhere. I'm good.
Hi.
Let me see. Let me get you out here somewhere. We're in the wrong thing. There we go. There you are. Herbert, that thing with Chris yesterday, that was interesting. It was long, but it was interesting. And, I like Chris and I like Chris's thing, but I want to say that I think he went a little overboard in that whole thing yesterday.
Well, you're talking about the event or you're talking about him yesterday? Which one? There's two things.
About the event. Correct.
The event. Okay. About the event, I understand his point. But Chris is young and he's trying to make a point. But I think that Chris doesn't understand how to manipulate the system to get his point across, like the gentleman from the UK did.
Right.
See, the gentleman from the UK is a much more mature individual that knows how to kind of like finagle and work the system and make things happen.
Right.
In my estimation and my observation, Chris, okay, first of all, he was right. He was someplace where, in order for people to hear him, he needed a megaphone. I mean, nobody was listening to him. I mean, people were walking all around minding their business, Chris should have got a captive audience. And like I suggested, a bus, a subway, someplace where people can't move.
Right.
You see? And then he would have had a captive audience.
Right.
Now the youth in Chris came out, because I've dealt with many youths before, and they act that way. And I usually calmly say to them, listen, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. I know you feel you did right, but you did wrong. And as a result of that, I'm going to have to place you. I'm going to have to be very nice about it. In Chris' situation, there was no need for an arrest whatsoever. Now, when the officer was taking the megaphone from Chris, I don't know why, because Chris wasn't using it at that point. He says, well, we'll take the megaphone. And I was like, for what? The kid's not using it. He said he's going to stop using it. But then when Chris broke the megaphone, when Chris broke away from the cop with the megaphone, he proceeded to use it again. Well, at that point, game over. Game over.
Right.
You see?
Yeah. So who provoked that, would you say? Do you think that cop provoked that by taking his megaphone from him when he wasn't using it? Or do you think Chris did by going up and grabbing that?
No, I think Chris was in the right to say, why are you taking my megaphone? Maybe he kept saying they're robbing me, and I started laughing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. No. Why was the police officer taking his megaphone when he agreed not to use it? Actually, if you look at the tape again, you'll see he was not speaking on the megaphone the next time around. He was off the megaphone.
Right. Yep.
But then the police came over and said, we're gonna confiscate. They didn't use the word confiscate, but I knew what they were doing. They're gonna confiscate his megaphone. But I didn't understand why, unless he's not supposed to have it on the property. See, in other words, if you're not supposed to have a bicycle on the property, well, they can confiscate it.
Right.
If you're not supposed to have a skateboard, then they can confiscate it. So I don't know why they want to take his megaphone, even though he agreed to stop using it. Now, in my opinion, Chris should have said, oh, I'm sorry, I'll put the megaphone away. That's all. Yeah. And then continue speaking. Now, to Chris' defense, I understand. He says he can't talk loud enough for the people to hear. Then that means you're in the wrong place.
Right, wrong business.
No, not the business. You're in the right business, to protect the children. You're in the wrong place for speaking to the people. But there was nobody listening to him. Everybody was minding their business, probably on lunch breaks, or people that work there and they're going back to work. Nobody was listening to him.
Right.
So he didn't have a captive audience. If he was standing by a bus stop where people are waiting for a bus and talking to those people, he had a captive audience. Nobody's going anywhere because they got to wait for the bus. Or if he was in a train, nobody's going nowhere. They got to sit in the train. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what the gentleman from the UK was saying, that he goes around from town to town, city to city, in different places. And by doing that, people will get to know who he is, and they all get together because they're like, oh yeah, that's the gentleman from the UK. He's going to speak again. And then,
You're talking about Ranji, right?
Ranji. Yeah, I call him the gentleman from UK. Ranji had a good point. He goes from city to city, from town to town, and he speaks to people. And then all of a sudden, people get to know who he is.
Right.
So if he was to put on a big demonstration or something, people from all those different towns would come out and listen to him.
Right. Yeah.
But by Chris going to Washington, nobody knows who Chris is.
Right. Everybody goes to Washington.
Nobody knows who Chris is.
Every day. If you think about it, they're probably used to people screaming that stuff every day when they're walking through those yards, trying to get to their buildings and stuff. It's not an impactful place to be because everybody's doing that. It's not, like you should. I would say maybe if you're trying to do that, like you said, go to, a subway, go to somewhere where people aren't used to having people scream out what they're trying to say.
Yeah, go someplace where you have smaller group of people and get their attention.
Mm-hmm. Right. Hey, Ashley had sent me a message last night. She got some good information. I gave her the link for the show. She popped in for a second, but Ashley, if you could come back in and maybe tell us about what was going on. And Carrie, I got your comment up there. It was interesting about how she said that it's the same stuff that's going on over in the UK that it's here. It's almost 1-to-1. I mean, it's almost exactly the same what's going on over there than over here. That's really crazy. So that leads you to believe that that's not just a United States thing or a UK thing. It's a worldwide thing because they're all following the same suit.
It's all global. Now, if you could Google if they have CPS issues over in Netherlands, over in Norway, over in Greenland.
That's what I was looking up last night when we started to wind things down. I was looking up because we had questioned about Russia. how much stuff is going on in Russia. I forget who asked that question, but someone did, and in fact, they do have CPS in Russia. So I was looking
Well, I
at
would
that.
think anywhere you have children, you're going to have something equivalent to CPS. Anywhere you have children.
Well,
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hi, Vinny. How are you?
Tired, man. I just got off a 10-hour shift.
Oh, I bet you're happy,
Yeah.
right?
You're working.
Yeah,
man. You be
tomorrow's
stuck.
my day off.
Yeah.
Why you want to be off? If they have work, take advantage of it.
No, not on my day off. I'm not.
Well, go after that money, Vinny.
That's what I'm saying. I would put at least 4 hours in on my day off.
No, they won't let me because it's the only day off that I've really had.
They don't want to
So
burn
you
you
work.
out.
So you work 6 days a week.
Basically, yeah. I work
Okay.
all week. I work all weekend until Wednesday.
Okay.
You
Well,
make-
isn't
you making-
today Wednesday?
Taking the zone in there. Are you hammering it down? Are you going to be manager next month?
I'm hoping so because I think we're losing 2 of our assistants. So
There you go, Vinny. Get right in there. Then you get the real big bucks, you know?
You go right up the ladder. You'll be assistant after a while.
yep.
Jesus, Vinny. You just stepped foot in there too, huh?
Yeah, you just got there within 2 weeks.
I mean, my paycheck alone this week is over $600 and something.
That's
There you
good.
go.
It's going to be over 1,000 after a while.
That's some real money right there for you, Vinny.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the type of money that you can actually do some stuff, you know?
Yeah.
They don't just take it by the bills, you know? You might be able to go out and get a soda or something.
Sure.
It ain't gonna be soda in my category.
Be careful, you're on bail, dude.
Hey, I'm allowed to have the green.
All right,
Yeah.
good. All right. So what do we want to talk about tonight? Let's have a free night. I haven't really thought about any. I wanted to talk about that Chris thing for a little bit, but what do we want to talk about tonight? We got anything good going on with you, Vinny? Do you have any updates for you?
I haven't heard anything today. I did get my next court date. It is the 19th. 9/19
All right.
or November
So that was
19th.
for what?
That's the hearing that I was supposed to have, the deposition hearing that they never held.
Oh, wow. So I don't know if you guys realize this, but you know that Nancy Schaefer thing was like 13, 14 years ago, right? That video that we watched the other day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And
isn't it
Ashley,
crazy?
you should share what you found out.
What's that?
Ashley said that she don't know if she should share what she found out. Well, she needs to share what she found out.
Well, it's pretty maybe she's right about that. I don't want her to get in any trouble for what she found out. It's pretty it's some stuff. Let's just leave it with that. It's really she could possibly get in trouble for it, so I don't want to be the reason for her to be getting in trouble. But what she did find is quite amazing. How she found it, I don't know. But here's a pretty cool video. I'm gonna share this with you guys right here. It's called "They Kidnapped Our Child." And they said, and then the thing on it is this is why CPS needs transparency. So it's pretty much these people talking about their case like we do, but with a flip side on it. So I want to play for you guys here real quick. See what you guys think about this.
Listen, if you don't take you to jail. Because right now, you're delaying. You're going to be resisting. If you don't go, you're going to go to jail, okay? So
Don't put your baby through this.
So I'm gonna grab your baby. You don't resist, and don't fight me, okay?
Where is he going to be? He's going to a hospital. Which one? Which one? We're not gonna tell you right now because I don't think you're acting, rationally right now.
Sammy Nikolaev was 5 months old when Sacramento County's Child Protective Services seized him from his parents.
What they've done was basically kidnapped our child with the help of police.
It all started with a trip to the hospital. Sammy had flu symptoms, and his parents wanted urgent treatment.
We went to the hospital, and then they told us that he has the flu, and that's when it started.
Sammy was born with a heart murmur, but doctors told his parents to wait until Sammy was older and stronger before considering surgery. That's why they were surprised when doctors at the hospital recommended immediate surgery. So they wanted a second opinion.
They were coming up basically with some random stuff. Oh, we need to do this. Finding another thing just to keep us there. They said, you could go, we'll keep the baby. So where's our parents' choice?
Feeling increasingly trapped and desperate, Anna removed Sammy from the hospital and took him directly to Kaiser for a second opinion.
I just was scared. I did not know what to do, so I packed him, I packed all our stuff, and we walked out.
When we went to Kaiser, basically, it's the whole different thing. Down there, we came there, and they're like, why would you want to check him? The baby looks fine. And police came there, which they were called by, I guess, CPS. And they felt kind of, I guess, stupid and stuff at first, because they came there all aggressive.
The police left, and the doctors discharged Sammy. It was the next day that CPS workers showed up at our front door.
They told me that the CPS needs to see our son, and I asked him if he can show me the warrant, and he told me, you have to open the door with the police.
When she called me, I heard all the knocking on the door and stuff. They were basically breaking the door down.
I was scared. I did not know what to do as a mother. I did not want them to take him and do any treatments without, saying really that he really needs that.
Thanks to this footage from the camera Anna set up, the raid on the Nikolaevs made national news and prompted a statewide audit of California's Child Protective Services agencies.
A lot of parental concern about our agency and the reputation of the agency is based on sensationalism and misunderstanding of what we do.
Sherry Heller is head of Sacramento County's Health and Human Services, the agency that oversees CPS. She says there's more to this story than meets the eye, but she can't and won't say exactly what that is.
I regret that I'm not able to answer questions about specific cases because both federal healthcare law and the state of California's child welfare law make it illegal for government agencies involved in this kind of a case to talk about anything that's in the case record unless the court allows it. And anyone can petition the court.
We did file a petition to open court records for this case. Almost 2 months later, there still hasn't been a ruling and the records remain sealed.
The secrecy by which CPS operates is a massive problem because when you have secrecy and unchecked power, you have a recipe for corruption and abuse.
State Assemblyman Tim Donnelly spearheaded the audit in California after writing a letter to Sherry Heller requesting more information in the wake of the Nikolaev raid.
And she basically wrote me back and said, we don't answer to assemblymen. We don't answer to the state legislature. So in between the lines, what I heard was, we answer to no one.
The law is clear that it's appropriate to act without a court warrant if children are in imminent danger of physical harm.
If you are given the task of protecting children, that's a high bar. And there's a great responsibility that comes with that. And therefore, I think that it's vital that this agency no longer cloak themselves in secrecy.
Deanna Hardwick found herself and her children mired in the secretive system when a social worker removed her 6- and 9-year-old daughters from her custody. Social workers were brought in to investigate a claim against her ex-husband that was later found to be unsubstantiated. But once CPS enters your life, it's often hard to get them out.
My youngest daughter ran into me during one of the visits and said that she wasn't going to let them go home with me that night. I asked the social worker, is it true? And she said, is what true? And I said, are you not going to let my kids go home with me tonight? And she said, I told them if they didn't visit with their dad, the judge is going to put them in a home.
Deanna and her children were shaken by the social worker's threat to put them in a home. But Deanna resolved to keep her head down and her mouth shut, hopeful that her dealings with CPS were almost over. But the next day in court, things took a turn for the worse.
Instead of her admitting that she made the threat, she blamed the threat on me. And the judge believed her, and she proceeded to build false claims and a false case against me. She sat me down and said, basically, what I needed to do was to submit to her, or I would never see my kids again.
Deanna refused to submit and sign a document corroborating the social worker's version of events. She lost her court case and lost custody of her children. But things finally turned around when she successfully sued Orange County CPS and the social workers who had targeted her. The court records are sealed, but an unsuccessful appeal mounted by CPS reveals that the jury found social workers had lied, falsified evidence, and suppressed exculpatory evidence, and done so with malice. The jury awarded Deanna $4.9 million. Because of interest and attorney's fees, Orange County ended up spending almost $11 million on the case. And 6.5 years later, Deanna regained partial custody of her daughters. But she says the damage can never be undone.
It's a very painful subject for everybody. I just can't help but always feel that there's a disconnect between my children and I. The system is set up in a way that it's encouraged to remove children from the protective parent because it generates a lot of funding.
Funding is available when a child is placed in a foster home with strangers.
Many critics of CPS say that the funding incentivizes the agency to just put more children into the system. And in a deposition, Orange County CPS Director Michael Riley seems to partly confirm this.
Let's say that you spend $10 a year. So therefore, for the following year, your base now would be $10.
So if you don't use your whole $10 in 1 year, the state will take away for next year the unused balance.
Yes, and that lowers your base.
And all of that is still tied to the number of children being brought into Orangewood.
It's tied to the number of children we have in the foster care system. Orangewood is a part of that.
A public information officer for Orange County CPS told us that this deposition video we included presents an inadequate answer to a very complex question, and that their goal is to keep families and children together. In the wake of the baby Sammy incident, the Nikolaevs, Deanna Hardwick, and many other parents who say they were victimized by CPS gathered at the state capitol to demand serious scrutiny of this often secretive organization.
Registered nurse, mother of 3, and strong support of the audit.
I'm from San Diego, California. I have witnessed 10 years of abuse by CPS. Please, we're asking you, look into this agency.
California.
Lawmakers heard their voices and voted overwhelmingly to allow the audit to proceed.
Most of us in this field are eager for the public to understand what happened and why. It is a source of great dismay to us when we're accused of hiding behind the confidentiality law.
Once the American people are able to be made aware that this is going on, I think that that will be a real step forward toward making sure that there's accountability and that the agency is ultimately working towards keeping families together rather than separating them.
Right now we're coming back to our normal life, and I hope it's gonna be everything like ending soon here, so we're gonna have our lives back like they've been before, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you think of that one, Vinny? Herbert, first of all, did you see those police in that first of that video when they kicked him?
Yeah. I saw it.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. But I was just wondering if the parent who wanted to get the second opinion indicated to the first hospital that she would like to take the child out, how can she get the child transported to the other hospital for a second opinion if all of this would not have occurred? Because what I heard was she just took the baby, left, and went to the second hospital. So it sounded like she didn't speak to the administration or anything of the hospital and said, well, I'm out of here. I'm taking this baby. I'm going to another hospital.
That's her kid, right? That's her kid, so she should be able to do that.
No. The baby is still under the first hospital's care. And I think that if she would have went to the administration and said, I want to go for the second opinion, they would have said, okay. They would have said, fine. And they would have made arrangements, probably with an ambulance and everything, to take the child, because it seemed to be pretty ill, to the second hospital. This probably would not have happened. Remember, I'm on the preventative part. Remember, I heard this is Herbert now, how to avoid CPS. So CPS. If she said to the hospital, I would like to have my child transported to Mary Immaculate Hospital.
Right.
And they probably would have said, okay. But she didn't do that. She took her child out of the hospital and went to the other hospital. Mm-hmm. That was the flag for CPS. But that right there flagged up.
She did do what she said, though. Went to the other hospital.
No. She's in hospital number 1. She's under the care and everything of that first hospital. She can't just take the baby and go to. You got to let them. What I'm planning on doing is there, and of course they're going to say no.
Yeah, you're kind of right, because that's what they do. If you take a kid out of a hospital that's under their care and try to move them, they do call CPS automatically.
See, so like Vinny said, and I'm saying, all she had to do was talk to the social worker, or not the CPS, but talk to the advocate of the hospital, talk to the social worker of the hospital, talk to the administration, and says, I want to get a second opinion on what you guys are saying at Mary Immaculate Hospital. I'm just making a name up. And they would have said, okay. And they probably said, we'll transport the baby there.
Yeah,
because they knew how sick the baby was. So they would have had that baby in an ambulance or transporter and transport the baby to the next hospital.
Maybe so. I mean, we don't know for sure, but I get what you're saying. But also,
I know how things work in hospitals.
Whether it's in the hospital's care or not, still the parent is the parent, and the parent is the legal guardian of that child. So that being said,
the parent's the legal guardian, but the parent introduced the baby to the hospital.
It doesn't matter. You're still the guardian of the parent. Now you're allowing our government to micromanage what we do as parents, and that's not right.
No, it's not right. So change the system. But the way the system is, you got to play with the system. The system is, you want to take the baby, you brought the baby to the hospital, you check the baby in the hospital hasn't checked the baby out yet, you take the baby out of there, you're wrong.
Because what I see is a hospital that's sitting there saying that they got $1 million surgery on this little baby, so they want to get that insurance money, is what I see. So they're right there getting frothing at the bit because they even said that surgery is necessary for that child for another few months until it gets older. So the parents said no, they don't want to do this.
Right.
Correct. So they shouldn't be under the scrutiny of CPS.
No. Under the scrutiny. Yeah. They're here to evaluate.
Herbert, you might want to do something with your phone because you keep cutting in and out.
You got bad service today or something. You got a storm out there? They got a storm out there in Arizona?
Good evening, Durham. What's up, man?
Durham's in the house. Durham, thank you for joining us last night. I know you didn't get much to say in there, but thank you for joining us. Chris has a way of holding on to that microphone pretty solid. I think he's always on the mic. He's always on that the bullhorn, so he's got to just keep talking and talking. It's hard to get
Can
a
you hear
word
me
in with him. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
You just kind of get some, like you have bad service.
They check.
Nope. There it goes again, Herbert. You might want to reboot your phone.
Stand by.
Yes, sir. Herbert's going to do a little reset there. I mean, what do you think about that, Vinny? I know that you said that you agree with that stuff, but all right, you got it, Durham. Come on
in. In all aspects, yes, the parent is the legal guardian of that child. But in the hospital's aspect, they were looking at the best interest of the child. And that was that the child needed the surgery. But its doctors decided to wait, and that prolonged the problem. So therefore, that would be a malpractice suit on the doctor, because the doctor didn't do the surgery, and they found out at the hospital that it needed to be done, but yet she wanted to leave the hospital. Well, in that case, CPS would get called.
Right, but they said that surgery shouldn't be done for a number of months. Durham's in the house with us. Let's let Durham in here.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what Durham thinks about that one.
All right, Durham, what you got, buddy?
Blue settings there, down. I got a bit. There we go. How you guys? All right?
Yeah, we're doing all right, man. Durham. How you doing, buddy?
I'm okay. You? Good day.
Did you catch that video, or did you come in late?
I saw a little bit of it. Yeah, only a little bit. I've only watched it back. But what I don't understand is, if she sort of like won the lawsuit or whatever, she's been paid out, but she hasn't got full custody of the children. And I can't get my head around that. Why you would pay out $4.9 million dollars, but you haven't got your kids? I wouldn't want the money.
Right. Well,
family's partner.
That's the whole thing. They do that with us over here too. They'll go to federal court. They'll win in federal court. They'll get paid for damages, but yet you still don't get your kids back. So you're like, what's good is this? I don't want the money. I want my kids. Because what good is money if you don't have your children?
Well, hello over there, Miss Justice.
Mrs. Justice.
So hello, hi.
Where's
you
Herbert
feel the same way, Miss Justice?
Miss Justice.
I'm absolutely fine. I've been on Mangies a couple of times, but I get a bit upset now and then. So, as you can understand.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a tough subject.
Yeah.
Real tough subject. It's hard to come across and try to do this emotionless, every day like we do this, because all of us got skin in the game. I'm not sure if you guys do or not. Do you guys have skin in the game too, Durham? You guys have a child involved in this stuff?
We have four children. One's gone. One was adopted. We have another 3 in foster care that we're trying to get back.
Yeah.
But the system, as you know, it's the same as in the States, isn't it?
I gotta agree with Gary there.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this just lets you think that this is a worldwide thing, because how can it be the same thing in the United States? How can it be the same exact system going on in the UK? How can it be the same exact thing that's going on in Canada? How can it be the same exact thing that's going on? I mean, where else we will look? It's all the same. The formulas are all the same. Now, it's either so simple or it's a worldwide thing.
Not only that, you guys need to remember, DHS or CPS, they are not of this country. They are a foreign identity.
Who's that? The CPS?
Yeah. They are not of this country.
I've been doing a bit of research, and money's being pumped in from the likes of like Qatar, places like that. they're pumping money into the foster agencies and the adoption agencies. There is a entity involved here.
Children.
Hey, Jer. I mean, I did some digging myself, and I've found that, there's not only money coming from different places, there's money coming from the attorneys, from the bar associates. They're pulling off of child support. Where do you think the money goes when you pay the state child support for your kid? Okay. Where do you think that money is going? It's not going to your kid.
Well,
it's going back abroad, Vinny.
Yeah, exactly.
Not only where's the money going, where are the kids?
People,
right.
Exactly.
Can you ask Vinny a question? Can you ask him hi Vinny, instead of paying the child support, can you not give them presents, or I don't know if you got a son or daughter?
I'm sure you can, but then you got to have receipts proving that you did that. Not only that, some of these foster parents don't allow it because CPS tells them no.
Right. That's basically what they do. Once you get, they start making money from the state. They ixnay all of the presents, the gifts, anything. You're not allowed to give your child a damn thing. Even on visits, when you go to see them, they don't even allow them to. You can't bring them anything there. If you bring them a snack, that's it. No more presents, no more gifts, no more nothing. They can't take them home with them. They can't do anything with them, and it's disgusting to watch.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna see them try to stop me do that when I go to see my kids. Because I'll tell you what, it would be I have missed her birthday and everything else, so I'm making up for it one way or another, and they can kiss my ass.
Do you know what they tell the children though? They say, "Mom and Dad don't want to know you. They won't buy you gifts." They're manipulating the children.
Yep.
Yeah? So when they get older and they come looking for you, they've got loads of questions, and that's why they're always angry with you. They'll turn around and say, "You didn't want to fight for us. You didn't want to know us," even though we know that's bullshit. But that's what's been put into their heads. It's like a brainwashing system.
Tell them.
They did that with my oldest, but my youngest still asked for her father, and she's done it in front of the foster parents, and the foster parents even reported it to CPS that he was asking for me.
Feedback. Sorry about that, Benny.
Oh, it's all right.
There we go. You're good. All right, go ahead, Benny.
So she asked the foster parents where I was, and she wanted to see me, and she asked them over 5 times. So they reported it to CPS that she wanted to see her father.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Boy, she's gonna be surprised when she sees me.
Yes, she is. But be ready, because she's going to be reserved at first, man. She's not going to know what to think. Be prepared for that. You probably won't get to run in your arms. You know what I mean? She's going to be very cautious when she comes and sees you.
Yeah.
And she'll have
just be ready for that.
A lot of questions like, why didn't you contact us? Why didn't you do this? You have to be straight with her and say, I did. I tried everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying for 11 months, and they've always put, but not this time.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got their foot in their mouth with you, buddy. I know that they used to. We found this report that Vinny always talks about. I found this. I don't even know where or how I got it or where it came from, because I'd never seen it from. But I found it the other day, and it was in that report that Vinny talks about, that Katahdin report. And in there it says that our 3-year-old daughter said that when she sees her mom, she says it stresses her out. Now, that little girl had never even been with anybody else but her mother and I since she was born. She was almost 4 when they took her. But she was saying things supposedly like it stresses her out. She doesn't want to see her father. Yeah, all of these things that are blatant lies. This is them telling the kid what to be said and all of this. It's not vice versa. It's them telling these kids, your parents don't want you. That's what's going on. We found out that that's what's being said to our daughter right now, is that we didn't want her, and so on and so forth. So we have, we have ears and places, but That's just disgusting that they would tell these kids that stuff.
But they get away with it.
Coercion.
Like we had 4 and we see them 3 times a week, and literally the taxi come and they were literally jumping out the taxi to see us, literally,
No.
and with their arms, and now they stopped us seeing them, and now my son apparently doesn't want to see us. And even the judge turned around and said, I don't understand why he doesn't want to see his mum and dad, because everything I'm getting is that he's crazy about his mum and dad.
Because they're being told some other things. That's why.
Yeah, the same as what's in the States. You know, when you sit there and you're telling us what's happening to you, it's carbon copy across here.
Yep.
So if it's exactly the same here, America, Sweden, wherever,
Canada,
they're all singing off the same song sheet.
Something has to give. I know I keep saying it, but
yeah, Arjuna, it is mind control. It's total mind control, and that's why my wife and I, we just spent that 2 months taking those classes of we've learned how to, any children that got overtaken by mind control, we're able to break the programming and fix these kids to get the mind control out of them, how they've been programmed. That's what we've been doing, so we can start helping these kids that have been subject to mind control. We've got the tools now to break them of that mind control and try to help them get back to normal, because unless you break the programming that these kids have gotten, you're not going to be able to get these kids back to normal. They're not going to be able to be well. They're not going to be able to live a good life. You need to break that programming that they've gotten from the CPS agents and those people, and you need to take that away from them, and then these kids will be able to go back to living a decent, happy life. But until you break what's going on in their head and what they've been told and how they've been programmed, you're not going to be able to live happily with them, and nor are they going to be able to live happy.
Not only that, you have to get them off of that psychotropic drug that they got them on.
Right.
it's like coercion kind of thing. It's like, you know, when your child's young and you say, don't talk to strangers, like as you do, and then all of a sudden your children get took from you, give with strangers, and that you're not allowed to see your mum and dad for another 3 weeks. And you're saying that we done the trauma.
I guess I kind of got lucky in my situation because where my youngest daughter is placed, I may not know her, but my best friend does.
Right.
So she knows the foster parents. So I know all about them without them even knowing I do.
At least you've got eyes on them. Any mother and father would do the same.
Yep.
Absolutely. Do you guys know where your kids are? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I know where 2 are.
Yeah.
But the other 2, no.
The foster carers that had me younger 2, I've actually had all 4 of them. And my son, he didn't tell us, but he told the supervisor social worker that he'd been assaulted, kicked in the back by the male social worker, and I didn't find out until one of the meetings. So I went and I was playing with him, and I said, there before I seen the bruise. So even when the child says they're getting abused, still don't do it.
And there's nothing you can do about it, right? There's nothing that you can do about it.
They'll come into our homes and say we're neglecting and abusing our children, but then when you're spotting it in foster care, they turn a blind eye. So it's not about child protection; it's about the color of the green, Darren. It's the money, man.
That's it. Yeah, and you heard that social worker in that video just say it, because if they don't use it, they'll lose it. So they've got to take that many kids back into the system. He just said it right there. If they don't replace that money with those kids, then they lose the funding. So they can't lose the funding because they budget these off of there. So they have to remove that many kids, or they lose their budget, because their budget is based on the amount of kids that they take. And that social worker gentleman just said it in that video, that if they don't use it, they'll lose it. So they have to replace those kids with kids.
It's like replenishing a supermarket with goods, isn't it? That's all it is. Exactly.
That's exactly the same thing. If they don't have those, Nancy Schaefer said it, they got to have more merchandise to sell. They got to have merchandise to sell. If they don't have merchandise to sell, they can't make any money. You know, some way this thing is turned into being from child care and protection, which I do believe in the beginning, in the 1600s, that there was good intentions, because this started over in the UK in the 1690s.
1920s.
But I believe that it was good. But somehow money is taking its toll, and as always, money is the root of all evil, and money will prevail over everything.
Money's the root to evil.
Yep.
In Bangis, talk.
You can hear.
Oh, sorry.
Darren, you might want to ask Mrs. Clearwater there. She's from the UK. I think she's. I don't know whether she'll come in. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, if she wants to, please do so. I'll drop the link again, and she can grab it. Miss Clearwater, you're more than welcome to join us. There's the link.
Yeah, come on, don't be shy. She's very knowledgeable as well.
Yeah, money does drive everything, Kerry. You're right.
She could tell you a story about there's a young lass who was taken from a mother. She got autism, named Megan, and social service and police have taken her, and she's like, she's got a bit of eating disorder, and what they've done is, instead of trying to help her in that, they've just tossed her into a facility.
Oh, this cracks me up. Why are they taking these kids? Other than money, what reason do they have to take these kids that are struggling to live as it is, struggling to have a good life, a life that they, and these parents that are trying to make it worth them living, and then CPS comes in and creates the biggest assault on them by taking them away. I mean, that all these studies are showing that the effects of them removing a child from their home is the ultimate of abuse and neglect. That's the ultimate abuse, tearing away a kid from their safety, their original safety, their safety, net, their safety, everything. And they're showing facts are this: once you remove that safety barrier from a child, you've destroyed them for life.
Definitely.
And these autistic children, these autistic kids that get connected with their mom or their dad or whatever, they're taking these kids for whatever reasons, which are bullshit, most of them, and they're removing them from these people that have been their safety net, their one and only. Because, I mean, I don't mean it like this, but children that have mental handicaps and things, they pick their parent. They're like an animal, like they pick their person and they stick with that person. That's it. They get the chance of having one person be their person. And these CPSs are just removing these kids and taking away any chance that they have of living a normal life, because they remove them, they throw them into a strange family. These kids are left in chaotic, like they don't know what's going on. They wouldn't understand anyway, because their person that they've selected to be them, normally the mom, or the dad maybe, but normally it's the mother. The mother that they look for their safety is gone, not around. So they've lost all of their everything. They lost their like
detachment.
They lost everything.
Exactly.
They're not going to make it without them.
This is why they get detachment disorders,
right?
Mental health in later life, because you got to think, right? A baby is with the mother from birth. They do all the bonding. Then you get CPS and like children's services here come and rip that child away. That child's going to be like, whoa. Even at a young age, it's like they're used to the smell, the touch of the mother, and when that's gone, that's damaging for any child.
Yep.
Any child.
And it can't be replaced.
No, it can't. And it can't be repaired. It can't never be repaired.
Nope. Right. Well, I say it all the time, and I'll say it again. It says it right in the Bible. Don't look to the scripture for the examples. Look to nature. What happens in nature? If you go out and you find a little baby fox, let's say, and you touch that baby fox, and you nurtured that baby fox, and then try to bring it out to the wild, that mother's going to reject that baby fox when you bring it back. It's the same thing. The same things happen when you take away the kids, and then another child gets nurtured by another mother, and then you try to give that child back. That mother now too is, no one ever talks about this either, but no one talks about that resentment of a mother having another mother raise their child. That doesn't get, that's a big thing too, that no one even brings on. Like there's damage done between that mother bond and that child bond on both sides. It's not just the child removed from the safety, but it's the mom feeling that inadequacy, that has now been given to her, that she lost her child, that she wasn't able to take care of her child. That's a huge thing too. And how that's not spoken about more, I don't have any idea. But it's the truth. You can't nurture another anything's child and then give it back to where it was come from. It's a completely different relationship.
Darren, can I ask Herbert if he looks like he's going to fall asleep there? Like, can I ask him?
No, I'm here. Herbert's here.
Right.
Herbert's here.
Right, you're in law enforcement, right? Did you ever go to somebody's home as a police officer with the CPS to remove a child?
Yes, as a security for the CPS. In other words, to make sure there's no confrontation between CPS and the parents.
Okay, because over here, the police are told, given misinformation. Basically, they make this. They ring the social services here and say it's worse than what it really is. They lie to the police, and when the police turn up at the house, they can't stand what social services are doing to the family, but they have to be there, obviously, for breach of peace. You know.
Yes.
But they don't like it. How did you feel when you had to be in that situation?
In a couple of situations I've been involved in, I would say parents were agitated, yes, but they understood. I believe they were informed by their attorneys in advance that this was going to go down. They knew it was going to go down. So although they put up objections to the CPS personnel, they understood it was going to happen. I personally didn't have to say a word. I just stood there.
Right. It's because a lot of officers don't like doing that job, you see.
Well, the objective there is to keep the peace. That's all. I'd rather be there and see what's going on and keep the peace than not to be there and come back later on and place everybody under arrest.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Durham, as you can see. I went to court and they got, they couldn't get a call, so I did it on that video chat thing. The judge turned around and says, we need to see you in court. Fair enough. So that was on the Tuesday. So I went to court. And the judge turned, he'd done it again for another 2 days. But my you call them attorneys over there, I just call them solicitors. He turned around, he says, about 11, from about 9 to 12 o'clock, they're going to come with the police and they're going to be checking your house. And I was like, okay, fine. So I bathed the babies about 8 o'clock, read them the books, put them to bed. And what happened, they knocked on the door. So I opened the door and they said, are you this person? And it was a completely different name to me. Even though I knew who I was, the tyrant says, you've got the wrong door. So they come back and I says, well, you've got my name wrong. So they says, okay, I says, that's absolutely fine. So they went upstairs, the beds were lovely and everything, but they woke my son up. And this social worker was walking around the house and everything. I says, is everything okay? She went, everything's perfect. But when I went back to court, what the social worker turned around and said is because I had a 3-year-old son and he used to drink his bottle in bed, but he decided to put the teat in to do with the fingers, so the bottle went over. So I took the bottom sheet off in the wash machine. Well, because of that, they turned around and said, the children, they haven't got the red bedding on, but everything was perfect. Just because he done that, and I couldn't, because we just moved, and I couldn't find the other one, but I got one. Been to hospital, never had a bruise on them, nothing in this world. Mm-hmm. And just because we've got this teacher, she was a bit of a bitch. Sorry for swearing.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
She doesn't pick on the when the parents come with BMWs and that. They don't pick on them. Just because me and him's on benefits, she took a shine to my little boy.
Right.
So my little boy was having tantrums because he couldn't read properly. And he was just learning to spell, so they would say and everything. But at the end of the day, I've never seen the whole thing turned on us. Even the nurseries that said were perfect, literally turned at the last minute.
They're getting their cut, Darren.
For what?
Getting that corruption is what they're getting.
Yeah.
For what? Why would someone do that and lie?
Because they all lie. They all lie.
Yeah, they all get. Everybody thinks that they're, for some reason, I think that this is it. The fact is that everybody is so damn scared of getting in trouble for not reporting if a kid gets hurt that they feel like they have to join in with the crew. If they don't, then they're left behind. And if something takes place, that they could get in trouble. You know, like it started with you guys with like that, like you said, the teacher makes a report. Well, then the school nurse has got to jump in on it. And all these people got to jump in on it so that they're part of the bandwagon, so that they're not left behind. I think they're part of it. You know, like everybody needs to get in on this so that they're not scolded or they're not made to feel left out or whatever. This isn't anything that you should jump on for the bandwagon by any source. If anything, this is when the school nurse should come in and say, you know what, I've never seen anything on this child. Where do you guys saying this abuse is? You know, like these people need to learn to stand up for the parents and say, no. Mandated reporting might be true, but we don't have to do this. We don't see any of this stuff that these people are seeing. And protecting the family, not taking the kid away. They need to protect keeping the kid in the home.
The nursery that the three was with, the three youngest, brilliant report, everything, and she was, every time we're in the meeting, she was bigging us up. Then all of a sudden, she just changed at the last minute.
Stabbed us in the back.
Now she's on the in. She's got like, because it was a private nursery. Now she's all over the place, and I'm like, and I'm starting to think it is about money.
Yeah, you know what it is, Darren. She's got a taste for it, man. Now, when we've rang her up, she says, "Oh, I can't speak now because I'm in a child protection meeting." So she's gone from like never having this problem to all of a sudden child after child after child, because she's got a taste for the money now as well.
Yep. Oh, so you're saying that she's reporting kids left and right now?
Yeah. She's like nothing whatsoever until us, and then after us, well, that's it. I mean, I've rang her a few times. I've got to go on a child protection meeting, and then I've got to go on a child protection meeting. I've seen how many fucking kids now.
Yeah, right.
All four of our children went the same person, literally nothing. I mean, amazing. Everything we're getting, amazing. And then all of a sudden, because we were going through this child protection, it was amazing. And then when it come to court, it was like,
well, I'm going to tell you something right now, right? My eldest son's school, right? There was a little girl, and she'd been interfered with by two of her pupils. And she got calipers on because she got cerebral palsy, right? Now, all I said to that head teacher was, I thought it was disgusting, okay? I says, what are you going to do about this? And she says, you know what she put it down to? Curiosity.
Oh.
Curiosity,
huh?
Yeah. They had no intentions of acting on it, put it down to curiosity.
Wow.
And because I said that I wasn't going to put my daughter into that school because of that situation, he fucking went off it.
Yep.
And she just went mental.
Jesus almighty.
So if you got head teachers in schools saying it's just curiosity, I mean, what the fuck's that about?
What is
that? Right. You know that Josie said that's what they're doing in Canada now. If your kid gets in trouble so many times now in the Canadian school system, they don't reprimand your kid anymore. They get their DGB involved, which is their version of CPS. And they're the ones that control the situation. No longer is it the principal of the school or any of that. Now it's Child Protective Services comes into the school and handles the discipline of your child in Canada. That's sick.
Talking about Jody?
Yeah, no.
And I had a friend of mine that told me. My friend told me one. He said if Child Protective Services gets in the schools, it's over.
If a child now in the UK is bullied by other children, and they're bullied constantly, that the children's services come in now, and the child who's being bullied, they come at the parents. Them parents, they wouldn't go after the children like the children who's bullying. They don't go after their parents and say sort your kids out. They're saying there's something at home because this child can't stick up for himself.
So wait a minute, they go after the parents of the bullied kid?
Yeah, so like say my child was being bullied, they come after us. They come after us.
Or what? Because someone else's kid's an asshole? You get in trouble?
Pretty much because they're saying there's something wrong at home because your child's basically what I'm trying to say is because your child's too fucking soft. There's something wrong.
But if you turn around and say to your son, I always say, I was locked up like that. Someone hits you, you hit back harder.
Yeah.
That was the way it was.
Welcome in, Brenda.
Now, say someone bullied them and you hit them back, then they'll come back for us again. So I'm like, well, what they're meant to do? Now they get bullied or they stick up for themselves. But either way, we're still in the
whole system's fucked, Darren. You know what I mean?
That is insane. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So where does it stop, right? Where does it stop? Where is it going to stop that? What is it up to us, the people, to stop CPS doing this? Because they're infiltrating everywhere. How do we stop this? That's the question. Because they're just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Like the guy from UK said last night, we all have to unite as one.
That's what I was just about to say. There's one thing keeping it a secret, but now there's now many countries that's going through the same. We should just say, sorry for swearing, fuck it, and come together, and we'll just vote together.
Because it doesn't matter race, color, sex, gender, none of that. All of us people, all of us.
Every mother and father that has a child that's been through this should stand up and say that is enough.
And if it means going to jail, it means going to jail. You go to jail, you come out, you do it again.
Yep, exactly my point.
And it's going to cost the fucking states more money to keep you in fucking prison than it is to let you shout your mouth off.
Yep.
But that's part of their plan too. Part of their plan is to get you in jail, take your kid, get the money from them, put you in jail, the money from you being in jail. I mean, that's part of their big plan here. Because look, we didn't have all these tent cities in the United States until they went on this huge seizure of kids. Now you're seeing more parents that are homeless, more parents without jobs. You're seeing more parents without all this stuff. And it's because they've essentially broken the family unit. They've broken the pride. They've broken the hearts of these people. You don't feel worth a shit. You can't even imagine going to work. I mean, I applaud Benny being able to go to work for 11, 12 hours a day. I couldn't, you know what? I couldn't imagine for somebody else because constantly every hour I'm thinking about my daughter. I'm thinking about this. What can I do? How can I do this? Like, how can you even work a freaking full day? You know, they cripple you by pushing your children.
Like my eldest is 18 and she was pregnant. She's had a little baby girl, beautiful. When she was pregnant, because she's got because she lived with my mom, I don't really want to get into that. She said, because my brother has got very bad mental health. He literally wears nappies. He does no left and right and stuff. He knows only about 5 words. But my daughter turned around and said, "Oh, my uncle's got
autism."
The health visitor went to social services saying my daughter had autism, so they come straight in. So my mum had to go to the doctors to get a whole file and everything up and say she's never had autism in her life.
Okay.
They take. Go on, Vinny.
So here's a question for you guys over there in the UK, Durham. What is 700 pounds? $700 here, but over there, what is it there?
I'm going to get my phone because I wouldn't have a clue.
Are you on euros or?
No, dollars, man.
I didn't bloody know.
Fucking euros is like France.
I'm sorry.
Euro, dollar, euro.
I want you to boss in a minute.
Wait 2 seconds.
Well, there's a whole reason behind that because here in the U.S., it will cost you $700 to formally file a lawsuit against CPS.
Pardon?
I looked it up today, and I was doing some research, and I'm highly thinking about it.
So what did you say there?
$400 to the federal to open the federal.
You can open files. Like, what do you mean? You can open social workers files?
Yep.
You can suppress, not press charges, but sue them.
Yep.
Is that not hacking?
What's the other 300?
Right,
I know it's 400 to open the federal suit.
It's like $700
US.
The other 300 covers the filing fee.
Is that what it is?
They can open files. We can't open files.
No, you have to file your petition for your lawsuit with the $700, and it takes care of the whole thing.
We get legal.
Right.
We get
And that's
legal
great.
aid. We get
Right,
legal
and-
aid because we're not working.
And that still gets you nothing but money, not your kids back, like Carrie said.
No, what it does, it just gives you, like, your lawyer. All it does is pays your lawyer for them to represent you in court.
See,
And right, because at that court you can't go pro se, and you have to be represented.
Yeah, exactly. Vinny, $700 amounts to 539 English pounds.
That's quite a bit.
How long does it take? What's the average over there? How much a week?
A week, average.
Like working or benefits.
Yeah,
Benefit.
like if you went to work, what's the average working wage over there?
I don't know. You can go
Average working week.
700 if you go.
Hold on, we're talking money or days of work.
Yeah, per pound. However, yeah.
I would say, like, well, when I was working, I was a lorry driver, and I was getting like 500 English pounds a week. So I'd say what, $2,000 a month. But then you take
So that's
tax.
about what Vinny's making. That's about what you're making, right, Vinny? Because you get 700 this week or whatever. I take home.
I get six. Well, hold on, I can tell you. Hold on.
You get about $2,000.
Do you not get like, because I'm disabled because of mental health? Do you not get like stuff like that?
Well, we do if you can get it. It's very hard for everybody to get it over there. Over here,
Yeah,
you have to go in front of people
600,
that.
624.96 before taxes.
Is that for the month, Vinny?
Before tax.
No, that's just for 39 hours.
39 hours.
Of work week.
What's the minimum wage in America?
It depends on where you go, really, because some offer $22 an hour. Others offer 18, others offer 16.
Let's see what it
so
looks
it really
like.
just kind of matters where you are.
What is the national minimum wage average?
Well, in England.
According to an
he's
elected
talking into his thing.
as of January 1st, 2023, the federal minimum wage in the United States is $7.25.
$7.25 an hour is the federal minimum wage.
Okay, it's 11 pound 2 pence English pounds, yeah, per hour.
Age over 23.
That's if you're age 23 and over. Then it drops 21 to 22 years old, £10.18, and then 18 to 20-year-olds, £7.14, and then under 18s becomes £5.28, and an apprenticeship is £5.28 as well.
So that's about equal, because I would say that
it is.
It's about, from the numbers that you're giving me the math, it's about the same.
About the same, yeah.
The only difference I'm hearing, over there in the UK, they're basing it on age.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
do
you've
that,
got, like you come from school, and then like you either go to college, or you could do an apprentice.
And the apprentice.
This will rattle your kids. Hold on.
I thought he was asking that.
Depending upon your age, dictates what the minimum is going to be. That's what I'm hearing in the UK. Whereas in the United States, it doesn't make a difference what age you are.
But you still got the same money for what? Like,
Yes.
so you were 16. Oh, wow.
If you're 16 and the minimum wage is $18 an hour, that's what you're going to get.
Wow.
So, okay, before my shift today, okay, I was already sitting at 494.32. If that tells you how much I made today.
I think you're talking to us.
So you made $200 today.
But working where you work at, Vinny, whether there's a person there at 16, 18, or 32 years old, wouldn't they make the same?
No.
Okay. There's a difference in age?
Yes. No, not for the age, for experience.
No, okay. How about a person that's younger than you but has more experience?
Then they're going to make the pay that I would make.
There you go. Right. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying it has nothing to do with age. It has to do with experience, but not age. In the UK, I'm hearing it has to do with age.
Yeah,
Right,
because
experience.
you go to school when you're 16, You can either go on and like do apprenticeship or go to college, and then you'll do like a placement, but
Yeah,
you'll still.
But they're only paying £5.28, £5.28 for an apprenticeship.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's really bad. That.
Yeah, that's insanely bad.
Really
That's
bad.
like $3.50, right?
Yeah, it's crap. Shit.
So, if I had $1 in the UK, can I get more purchase power with $1 than £1 in the UK?
No.
Which one is more, the pound in UK or the dollar, the US dollar?
I'm gonna check now.
I think
Which one is
$1.50?
which one is stronger?
I think £1 of theirs is $1.50, or £1 they said was $1.50, or vice versa.
So
$1.50 was
yeah,
$1.
that's what I'm figuring out. Which way is it? So if I go to UK and I have $1, am I going to get $1.50 worth of stuff of their money of a pound, or is it going to be less, 75 cents? In other words, American dollar is only 75 cents.
How much is $1 to the English pound?
$1 US is about 76 pence.
Fucking
76 pence.
Less?
$1 equals 76 pence.
Okay. So and so that means that the American dollar is stronger in the UK.
Most definitely. See, if you came here now for holiday, you're going to be losing money.
I will.
Yeah, and the transfer rate. Yep.
You're gonna be at a loss.
Right.
But if I took the
Well, if your country's relying on, say, tourism, right? They're not going to come here.
You know,
right?
You know, the funny thing is,
I'm not going to go to a country where I'm going to be losing money.
The funny thing about that whole thing is, like, I have a friend that's from the UK, and she got with my best friend here, and now she's back in the UK and he's still here trying to get over there. And like, this girl and me spent hours on end talking every single night. And UK is definitely a lot different than it is from the US. And she was telling me the same thing. She said there's a lot of corruption over here. So what Durham is saying is right on, because this was years ago that I heard that from her.
You know, it is as well. People scared to come here now with the children. Okay, like just even to visit holiday. I think there was a person in America actually who's the male's in America, but the female with the baby is in England, and she had her child taken here, and Joe Biden's trying to get involved with her and say, listen here, it's right in it. Yeah. You sent that's a US citizen, so you child protection to release that baby back to the mother so they can both leave and go back to the States.
But now UK is saying, well, no, but yet the baby was born in USA.
Yeah, and that's why Biden stepped into
Joe Biden's literally just his statement says that mother and baby come home.
Yeah.
Because that's where the baby was born. But then again, there was this woman, she had 5 children, Rwanda or something like that.
She was from, I think, an African state. And then, like, obviously, she's got different ways of bringing up her children, different culture.
Right.
You know? So, because Children's Services here don't, don't agree with her parenting, which would be absolutely fine. She's not hurting her children. Just a different upbringing, different culture. Because they don't agree with it, they took all 5 of the children. And that's fucked up.
I think because in some way, I think they were like royalty in their country. So when they come here...
I think it's time that, you know, us parents all across the whole country just start banding together and getting this writ pushed in, because without the writ, there's no way we're going to have our freedom.
So when do you actually think we did have freedom?
Aye.
You know, we all went to war, we all did this, and guess what? We're still.
What you guys don't realize is we, the people, control our government.
Well, we're
Well, you haven't
supposed to.
seen our government, have you? Bunch of. Sorry.
They don't control us. We control them.
Well,
And
it's
it's about
supposed to.
time that we.
It's supposed to be.
That and it's
They're doing a
about
damn
time we
fine
get
job
it
at
back to
controlling
that.
us.
And it's time we have it back to that.
At the end of the day, we're all parents. We know what it's like. We've all been through it. But there's parents out there that hasn't been through it. So then when they look at you, they think, oh, well, you lost your kids. They always give you that look like, there must be a reason why you lost your kids. Like,
You know what? I don't care how they look at me, because you know what? But at the end of the day, I walk home and I go to sleep.
Exactly, Vinny, because you know the truth. That's
Good
why.
job, Vinny.
But they took my kids because I've got a mental illness. That's not my fault.
No.
And they took mine on allegations of a kid that is just absolutely like, wow.
You want to see them? They've never had a bruise in their life, have they?
Not until I went into foster care.
And then when they went to foster care, it got the point with black eyes, scrapes down the faces,
Yeah.
bruises
Disgusting.
around the arms, bruises around the neck. And every time we took photographs to say, listen, what the hell are you doing to my child? It was like,
Darren, tomorrow I am going live on TikTok outside. I'm not going to say it on here in case anyone's looking, but I'm going to a building tomorrow that I presented the evidence of my children's injuries, right, to these people. And my children are in foster care, remember, and they said those bruises happened with us when we went to see them.
Yeah.
For a contact. But what they need to remember is when you're in contact, it's all monitored,
all recorded,
and they were all, and the children were walking in through the door with the injuries. But this company who foster my children out have turned around in a letter and says it's happened with us. So I'm going to that building tomorrow. I'm going live on my TikTok and I am confronting.
All right. What time are you doing that?
It'll be around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon in British time.
So that's only what time is it there now? Is it at 2, so 4 hours?
well, it's 2 o'clock in the morning now.
No, it's not. It's 2 minutes past 3 here.
All right, so that's 7 or 6 in the morning. I'll get up and I'll put you on live here too. I'll grab your TikTok and we'll put you on live on this channel.
The way to remember it, Darren, is our dark is their light.
Yes.
Have you ever
But
seen
my
your
dark
child
is
be
dark
took
now,
away
too.
from you coming with black eyes and marks around the neck?
About strangulation marks and everything.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah. My child reported abuse and they turn around and says nothing's happening.
Yeah. And then nothing happened at your house, but yet they take your kids. Makes no
exactly.
sense. We're way late. Let's do our let's get our last words in here.
All right. Sorry.
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
Durham, you ready?
No,
You guys, you and Miss Durham want to do some last words?
Just stay strong and keep fighting. That's all we can do. And like show awareness to other resident people of every country, because at the end of the day, right, this can happen to anybody. So everyone needs to like wake up and stop being naive and saying you must have deserved, your children must have gone for a reason. You've got to stop that way of thinking, because it only takes one phone call from a school, from a neighbor, a malicious phone call, and your children have gone. So these people, these non-believers, need to wake up and see what's in front of them. And thanks for letting us on, Darren.
I don't know.
You got some words?
Mrs. Dunn, last words.
Mrs. Durham, thank you for all meeting us. Love you all, but I think you're all in the right thing. We're all here together. We're all parents. We all love our children. And if we don't stick together, who is gonna be the voices for them children?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you guys very much. Thank you so much for joining us too, Miss Durham. It was very nice to have you tonight.
Thank you.
Vinny, last words?
Wow. My last words is keep fighting that fight. All you families, all you parents out there, do not give up hope. we can win this. We just cannot let them win. So with that said, hate your caseworkers as much as you hate the administration that is the courts.
All right. Herbert, last words.
Learn all you can about CPS and the system, and try to avoid being a target of CPS, to avoid them from taking your children away.
All right. Mine is, if you know somebody that's had your kids taken by CPS, go over and give them a hug instead of telling them off. I'm the CPS Punisher. We're out of here. We're going to come back live tomorrow morning for Durham being on there.
Love you all.
Check us out.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem.
They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with dad out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division is what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again. CPS comes along with the mission to protect. The only thing they are doing is cashing in those checks, paid for by the souls of the children, diagnosed by a caseworker who is still a baby herself. They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with dad out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again.